What if I told you that 90% of traders are losing money because of one simple thing, their workspace setup? Today, I'm showing you my exact IBKR layout that's helped me stay profitable. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Ghost and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been about 3 months since my last upload and there's good reason for that. I've been completely focused on running my mentorship program and building out my private community for my mentees. The results they've been getting have been incredible, but it meant stepping back from YouTube for a bit. Today though, I'm back with something that literally changed my trading game, and it's actually one of the first few things I teach my mentees, my interactive broker workspace layout. Whether you're day trading, swing trading, or doing option plays, this setup works for all purposes. So if you're ready to level up your trading workspace, let's get into it. Alright guys, before we jump into the actual layout, let me explain the mindset behind this setup. Most traders just throw windows everywhere and wonder why they're missing opportunities. My layout is built upon 3 core principles. Number 1, speed. Every click matters when you're in a fast moving market. Number 2, visibility. I need to see everything that matters to me without having to hunt for information. And number 3, consistency. Keeping my same setup every single day, no confusion, no mistakes. Now let's talk about my dual monitor setup. I keep it simple for effective 2 main purposes. What you're looking at right now is going to be my execution monitor. This is where I actively manage whatever trades I'm in. My other monitor, which I'll show you next, is where I watch for new setups and new opportunities. The beauty of this separation is focus. When I'm managing a live trade, I'm not getting distracted by those other charts. When I'm hunting for setups, I'm not accidentally messing with active positions. Instead of just showing you guys the finished product, let me actually build this execution workspace from scratch so you guys can see the thought process behind every decision. So first things first, you go down at the bottom right here, click the plus button, label your chart, and then you get into this window right here. I'm going to start with showing you guys my chart windows first, and I'm going to show you guys the flexibility I have with it. So I click the regular charts, not the advanced charts. And I'm going to be leaving room because I want to add a second chart in here. There we go. Now that I've got the dual chart flexibility, right now I've got QQQ on both of them. I want you guys to see how you can switch them over to anything. I trade SPX and SPY mostly, so I'll switch this one over to SPY. Click stock. You want to make sure that these are not grouped together. Usually you can group the windows, but if they are, just ungroup them. And then here I'll switch it over to SPX. And then there we go. So the next step we're going to do is put in our option chain. So you click new windows, right at the top is the search bar. You could click option chain. Here you'll see I'll be sizing it a little bit smaller for good reasons, and I'll show you guys why. And the other things I want you guys to remember is here, all strikes should be clicked off unless you want to do standard deviations. That's all you want to pay attention to, but I always have it on all strikes. So it gives me all the strikes that I need for SPX. And then the next thing I want you guys to know that I do use is quote monitor. So back to new window, up at the top, search bar, type in quote monitor, click that off, type in whatever you want to call it. So I'll call it puts with a money sign. Okay. Then you want to size that, but don't size it for the full screen because I'll show you why. You're going to get 2 of those. So the next, go back, type in quote monitor. This one, I'll call it calls, money sign. And that is about it. So this is my execution monitor built from the ground up. You see, notice how everything has a purpose and a logical positioning. When I'm in a trade, my eyes move in a natural flow, charts for timing, option chain for the Greeks and volume, quote monitor for the exact prices and management of the trade. So now let me show you how to use this quote monitor. First, you're going to want to lock this layout in, save your changes. So now it's locked in. Here, you could double click any windows to make it full screen if you want to zoom in into something. For the quote monitor, how I use it. So here I have it labeled as puts and calls. This side is the calls, this side is the puts. So here I'll switch over, drag a contract into my quote monitor for the puts on the put side. And then here also on the calls for the call side. So now that I have both of these ready, I can readily just quickly get into, say if I have a hotkey, I can get into a position right away just by having these hotkeys and having my clicker clicked off on this side. With one button on my hotkeys, I can enter this position, whatever amount, and have my trailing stops or whatever my presets are for my hotkeys to get into position or get out of that position as well. So that's what I do like about this quote monitor and how effective it is. It's something that most people don't think about, but that is what makes the difference between being in a profitable winning trade and coming and chasing the entry. Now let me show you the setup hunting monitor on the other screen. So this screen is all about opportunity. Here you can see I have like my watch list charts. I have my SPY, my QQQ, my ES and NQ futures. When I see something setting up over here, I can quickly configure it into my execution monitor and then look for setups with the contracts that I want to buy. So let me show you how you set up these 4 charts on your next monitor. You're going to have to go back to your execution monitor, and that's where you're going to have to start. So just for this explanation, I'm going to make it as simple as possible. Can't show you both monitors simultaneously. So first thing you want to do is come back to your new window. For me, for my setup hunting monitor, I like to do advanced charts for those charts. So here you're going to click off advanced charts. That should populate the first chart. You want to make sure another key thing you want to focus on is not having these grouped. So at the top right corner, there's this little chain. Make sure you click the no group on those. And then from there, you're going to drag that into your other monitor. So then get 4 of those together. So now that you have that all set up and sized correctly to fit your screen, next thing let's talk about is customization, because a lot of people mess up about this part. For me, you go to settings. Once you go to settings, I click off extended trading hours right here. It has normal regulars. I do have extended trading hours on always. The next thing you want to do is your scaling. Make sure that's 24 hours. And then for your canvas, some people don't like to have it so small. They want to make sure that they can read it. You can size the font to whatever size you're comfortable with. Now I know what you're thinking, what about your hotkeys? I've got a whole setup for lightning fast execution that I use every single day. That's actually going to be its own dedicated video because there is a lot to unpack there. Trust me, you're going to want to see that, and especially what I got cooking for that video. And then here's something most people don't think about: Workspace templates. IBKR lets you save your different layouts in your execution monitor. So I've got my templates for those high volatility days. Sometimes for earning plays, I'll switch over. Right at the bottom here, you can have that all saved. And then also there's some simpler layouts you can use, but it's just about having these all saved and you could just switch over anytime you would like. All right, guys, let me drop some real knowledge on you. The mistakes I see traders making with their workspace and some tips that can actually save you some money. Mistake number 1, putting too much on one screen. I see traders trying to cram everything onto their execution monitor. Your execution screen should be clean and focused. Only what you're actively trading. Everything else goes onto another monitor. Mistake number 2, not utilizing your workspace templates. IBKR lets you save different layouts, but most people never use this feature. I've got different templates for different market conditions. One for when I'm focused on SPX, another when I'm trading multiple instruments. Pro tip that nobody talks about: position your option chain where you can see it. For quote monitor, you can add multiple contracts so you can keep track of all the contracts you want to trade and how and what they're doing. And that's one of the main things you want to be focusing on. When you're managing a live trade and the market's moving fast, every second counts. You don't want to be hunting around for your Greeks, which delta is the right contract, and so on. And here's the other big thing: practice your workflow when the market's closed. Know exactly how to switch between charts, how to resize your windows, where everything is. When opportunity comes, you want to be automatic as possible. Last thing, don't overcomplicate it. This layout works because it's simple, it's repeatable. I use the same setup every single day, so there's never any confusion about where to find what I need. And there you have it, guys, my complete IBKR layout breakdown. This setup has been battle tested through bull markets, bear markets, and everything in between. If this helped you guys out, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe for more trading content. Drop a comment below. Let me know what your biggest workspace challenge is. I do read every single one of you guys' comments. And coming up like next week, I'm probably going to be showing you guys my exact scanning process using this setup and finding those key setups that I use to trade. You're not going to want to miss that. Also, my hotkey setup video sometime later on in the end of next week. Until then, trade safe, trade smart. Appreciate you guys. Peace.